Essential risk management for legal support staff. Danger areas for support staff. You need to pinpoint the risks in the following and understand what you can do to minimize risks or avoid them from happening. The danger areas are legal ethics, law society rules, client relations, engagement letters, certification and witnessing of documents, client identification and FICA, scams, communication with client and others, communication with your employer, drafting, diary and calendar, filing, file notes and messages, correspondence, service and filing of court documents, prescription, and very importantly, the segregation of duties. Essential risk management for legal support staff. Legal ethics. The ethical duties applying to the attorneys in the firm will also apply to you as a member of the support staff. A failure to act ethically could lead to sanction from a court and/or the law society. Familiarize yourself with the ethical standards applicable to legal practice. The most important ethical rules for attorneys relate to the duty to act in the best interests of the client, attorney-client confidentiality, the attorney's duties in respect of the court, colleagues, and society as a whole. For support staff, in practical terms, ethical behavior encompasses client confidentiality, role clarification, and conflict disclosure. All information obtained about a client or their case is covered by so-called legal professional privilege and cannot be disclosed to anyone, even your family or family of the client. Be aware of accidental disclosure. Look after and dispose of client documents and correspondence in a way that ensures privacy. Take great care when addressing, replying to, and forwarding emails, and be careful of the manner in which files are labeled. The client should also not be left with the impression that you are doing legal work that is reserved for attorneys, or that you are acting in the capacity of a qualified attorney. It is a violation of the Attorneys Act to impose and/or hold yourself out as an attorney when you are not. You need to ensure that you understand what conflict disclosure means. Conflicts need to be disclosed to your employer, who should then play open cards with the client. Essential risk management for legal support staff. Law society rules. Be sure not to act in breach of your law society's rules. Make sure that you are familiar with them. Tactfully manage up if the person you report to acts in breach of the rules. Essential risk management for legal support staff. Client relations. A warm and friendly, efficient and professional receptionist who makes clients feel welcome can make a big difference and even influence clients to stay with the firm or motivate prospective clients to choose the firm. A secretary, clerk or paralegal who is cooperative and helpful, returns calls, passes on messages, and gets back to clients when they have undertaken to do so can create a good impression and client loyalty, to the extent that the client may overlook errors and delays. Essential risk management for legal support staff. Engagement letters. There is specific legislation in the Legal Practice Act 28 of 2014 relating to processes and steps to be followed when dealing with client instruction, cost estimates, and client rights. Be aware of Section 35, 7 to 12, and the compliance needed in your manual. Manage up and draw your employees' attention to these rules and especially to the consequences of non-compliance. Essential risk management for legal support staff. Certification and witnessing of documents. Only a commissioner of oaths can commission documents or take an oath. Do not make or accept copies of documents which are to be submitted to the Commissioner of Oaths at a later stage, as this is a criminal offence. Do not allow clients to sign documents without witnesses present. Essential risk management for legal support staff. Client identification and FICA. It is important that you verify the identity of a client, and especially the authorization of the person if acting on behalf of a trust or company. When obtaining contact details, ensure that you get additional information such as contact details of parents, family members, employers, or friends, which often prove helpful at crucial times. Let's look at FICA. The South African law requires that the identity of all clients be verified by accountable institutions, including attorneys' firms. Often this duty is delegated to a member of the support staff. It is important to note that no shortcuts or favors can be done. You should insist on having sight of the original documents. You should inspect the documents carefully and not just give a cursory glance. You must not assume that the FICA process may have been conducted by another entity, such as a bank, or that the client is well-mannered and looks honest. In case of uncertainty, consult with an attorney in the firm. You must not ever accept an email instruction purporting to be from a client to change banking details or a payment instruction. You should regularly check the AIIF and AFF websites for the warnings regarding scams. Essential risk management for legal support staff. Scams. Scams are a major area of concern for the profession. Often conveyancing secretaries fall for these. Be vigilant and do not trust anyone, even if you think you know him or her. Here are some important tips. Always insist on written instructions from your client where they consent to the release of funds into a bank account other than the one previously nominated. Do not accept telephonic instructions regarding payment of money. Always insist on a written instruction signed by the client together with their contact details. On receipt of instructions, confirm with the client the instructions contained in the authority in order to safeguard against fraudsters. Be especially critical of email instructions that are sent from a different email address from the client's usual one. Always confirm this instruction with a telephone call to the client.